Hey, it's Alan Berg. Before we get into this episode, I'm starting something called Ask Me Anything. That's right. You submit your questions and they could become an entire episode or something that I answer at the end of an episode. To submit your questions, look for the red button at podcast.alanberg.com. That's right. Podcast.alanberg.com. Click on the red button, submit your question, and maybe you'll hear it here on the podcast. Thanks. Getting the sale is a privilege. Welcome to another episode of the Wedding Business Solutions Podcast. I'm your host, Alan Berg. I'm a speaker, author, sales trainer, website reviewer, and I help businesses like yours sell more, profit more, and have more fun doing it. Enjoy this episode. Hi, it's Alan Berg. Welcome back to another episode of the Wedding Business Solutions Podcast. This is a phrase that I use when I'm doing sales training. And if you think about this, every time someone says yes to you, they've said no to everybody else, right? It just makes sense, right? You're the only fill in the blank venue that they're going to use for this event. You're the only caterer. You're the only one taking pictures or video or playing music, right? You're the only one providing the attire or the transportation or the invitations or the flowers and the decor or the photo booth or the rentals at right? Those 12 to 14 services that the average wedding has, and other events have probably just as many. Every time they say yes to you, they've said no to everybody else. That is a privilege. You have the privilege of providing that, because remember, we're not selling products and services. We're selling the results of those products and services, and having you provide them gives them results that they can't get anywhere else, right? They might get results that look similar, but they're not going to be the same, right? Two DJs who have access to the exact same catalog of music are going to do something different, are going to announce differently. Bands, the same thing, right? Two caterers that have talented chefs who could do exactly the same menu, but it's going to come out differently because they would put their twist on it over there. So the results, it's not that they're going to be better. I did a podcast about this. Are your results actually better, or are they just different? And the truth is that we'll never know if they're better because you're the only one doing this event. So we'll never know if somebody else could have done better for ceremony music or better to actually officiate the ceremony. We'll never know. So it is a privilege that we have to take seriously, because we don't get a second chance, right? This is going to happen once. This event, right? This rite of passage, this wedding, this holiday party, this grand opening celebration, whatever it is that you're doing, it is a privilege. And I think we need to start thinking about it that way, so that we say when we get the sale, it's not like, yeah, we got the sale. It's yes, we get the privilege of doing it. We get the privilege of not just talking to them about what we could do for their event, but actually following through with that and able to deliver on that. That's the privilege that I'm talking about here. So this was just a kind of a quick thought here, but I hope you take that to heart. Thanks. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Wedding Business Solutions Podcast. If you liked it, please subscribe to this channel and post a review on your chosen platform, Apple Podcasts or whichever one. If you have any questions about anything in this episode or any of my episodes, email me directly at alan@weddingbusinesssolutions.com or visit my website, alanberg.com, alanberg.com. If you have any suggestions for future topics or guests that you'd like to see, please again, email me or visit my website. Thanks for listening.